Morning guys. Today what we're going to be doing is making another piece of gear. I've done a couple of these smaller items in past videos, but I figured for the series we'd do a little bit different one. It's going to be a food carrying device for out on the trail. The last couple that I've made were actually just muslin stuff sacks, you know, of the small variety for my cornmeal and such. Today we're going to make one that can be carried on the outside of our body, kind of in the same fashion, just a little bit different. So stay with me, we'll get right to it. So what we need for this project, I have a couple pieces of linen here. We'll explain that further in a minute. I have a piece of brain tan here that we're going to cut out waist belt straps or shoulder straps, however you want to carry this item. I have some fixin' wax, a needle and thread, and some scissors, of course. So let's talk about the linen here for a minute. Get these out of our way. And the wax is just to coat my thread prior to sewing it. So this is going to be tubular design, and it's going to be doubled in fabric. So really I need two pieces, but four when folded over, so the material is doubled up. And this is probably just a bit long, so I'm going to end up trimming it up. I'm probably going to wear it in the small of my back, so I don't want something so long that it wraps around me. So we'll trim this guy up, I don't know, 10 inches or so. Use the smaller end for that, and then give myself a little room to sew. So again, double fabric. So when we fold it over, we're good. And I'm going to sew this one way and then flip it out so we don't have any raw edges here. So I'm going to turn that over a couple times. And we're going to sew right along the middle of this here, and then we'll fold up our end after and sew that up exactly the same way. And then there's a couple other things you got to do to it, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. So let me get some thread on the needle here and we'll start sewing. I'm using a brown thread because I plan on dyeing this probably in walnut hulls. Like I said, take my fixin' wax and just run my thread through that a couple times. So that. Just fold it over again to where we want it. So now need to attach a piece of brain tan to either end, and they're just going to be, you know, just pieces of strap, so we can use it as a waist belt or a shoulder strap, again depending on however you want to wear it. So I think the best way to get a piece out of this without using too much waste, I'm going to need two. So I'm going to fold this leftover square piece here over on itself. Not quite that much. Might be able to do away with that. And just cut a circle out of both pieces there. And if you just cut the circles out, you can get a nice long piece out of it rather than cutting, you know, the whole length and wasting it. So try to get rid of some of this extra and square off our brain tan a little bit. See what we come up with. Now I'll do these one at a time, more oval than circle I guess, but you'll see how long of a piece you can actually get out of a circle like this. I'm going to try to do it a 1/4 inch or so, 3/8. Stretch that out. You can go back after. Clean up any rough spots if you want. Alright, so we got ties or waist belt, shoulder strap, whatever you want to call it, however you're going to wear this thing. Now before we sew these on, there's a couple more things that we have to do to the pouch itself. So I'll show you. So here's our pouch. One thing we need to do is sew across the bottom again here, up, you know, an inch, inch and a half or so, and seal that off. That way when we fasten our bottom piece here, we can sew right through the whole thing and it'll be a lot stronger. Once we sew that across, we can go ahead and fasten this and sew it right through the whole sack. That way no food gets down inside where we've sewn this, and that's the reason we're sewing this all the way across here. So we'll do that. Then at the top, we're only going to want to fasten our strap to one side of this, obviously, so we can access our bag. And before we do that, we're going to have to finish this top end off, and we could leave it like that, I guess, but finish it off. We'll tuck it in, you know, a turn all the way around. Go ahead and sew it up same way we did the rest. We'll get the bottom sewed up. Nothing fancy, that's for sure. That'll give us a place to attach our piece of brain tan for our strap. On the top, I just folded it in once, about a ½ inch maybe. And I'm just going to throw a quick whip stitch around that. Alright, quick whip stitch around the top, that'll be good. So now we can go ahead and sew on our straps here. I'm going to use this one's a little bit more heavy duty, I think. So go ahead and attach it in the bottom. Alright guys, so here it is all done. Got both straps on now, top and bottom. I've actually made a third piece of brain sand to tie off my top. So once I get some food stuffed in there, I can just take this, tie it off at the top. I thought about sewing this right onto the back side so it stays on it, but I don't think that's a huge deal. Just cut another one I can just tie right off there. Keep everything sealed in. Get a nice little piece of kit. And here it is on. Obviously less the food in it, just empty. Well, just tie it around the waist. Again, it's probably how I'll wear it. So, not a bad little piece of gear. Alright guys, well thanks for watching another video. Appreciate it if you made it to the end. This one's fairly long, but I wanted to show you all the steps to that. And again, this could be worn over the shoulder, around the waist, which is probably how I'll carry it. But it just gives you another option. You know, like I said, I've made a couple of these in the past, but they tend to be in my pack. So rather than stop and have to take your pack off, dig everything out to get at it, this is more for, like, you know, trail nibbles, some type of trail mix, you know, dried corn, some jerky, stuff like that, maybe a little sugar mixed in or what have you. But you can just on the move undo it from your waist, you know, open up the top, pull some in your hand, keep going, tie it right back up, put it on your waist, and you never have to stop. So pretty cool little piece of kit. And again, you know, if you can make this stuff yourself, all the better, right? So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon with another video.